Hey everyone, this is Ravinder, and thank you so much for joining my channel. So this will be my first YouTube video. Today I'll be covering lots of great tips and tricks. See what we can, achieve by using all those basic principles, and we'll try to create one artwork out of it, right? So this will be the final product that we'll be creating today. So this is, the people from Instagram, you probably see this post there. So today we'll be recreating this. So let's get started. All right, so let's get started with setting some basic shapes. So first of all, let me create uh, a basic scene setup. So let's create a plane first. Then pick plane, scale it, value of 5. Right now, let's make that. Let me do one thing. Let's open that reference first. Oops. So this will be my image editor. So yeah, so it's still everything. So let's create this first cylindrical building, right? Okay. So how do you do that? Let's create a cylinder. Let's move it up to Z to 1. Let's drag up the geometry. Maybe it's 120, right? Okay. So this will be my cylinder. So let's isolate it when I don't want to, uh, I want to make my scene very light and don't want to, uh, you know, move my other geometry. So let's hide those first to make a single object an isolated view is to select that object and hit question mark or slash key. Now go to the edit mode by hitting tab. Move to the the face mode. Select both the faces. Hit I. Slightly scale. Right. You've selected both sides. Now right click. Go to where bridge faces. Yeah. So here you can see a cylindrical shape. Right. Now let's go to shade smooth. And by the way, I'm using Blender latest version 3.3 something. I'm not sure. Yeah, should be 3.3. Right. Uh, so this is smooth. Now let's create those small windows. So to create a window, let's model a window first. Now what I'm doing is creating a cube, right? And scaling it down. Now to view that cube, we have to we have to enable the wireframe mode, and the shortcut is Alt Z. And yep, so here I can go to my front view, make that scale slightly like this, and again using the edges and moving it up, right, and selecting both the edges. I'm I have to bevel these edges, and the shortcut is Control B to bevel it. And I'm using the mouse wheel up to create these to divide these edges, right? Further, right? Okay. All right. So when we have created the shape, now make that duplicate, right? Now, how can we make that duplicate? So one thing is, we can use array modifier. So let's do one thing. Let's scale it up on by axis. Scale, hit Y, Y, right? So this should cover both the sides. No need to make that thing again, right? Can right. Okay. Now to make the duplicate. Okay. So first thing is now go to your modifier tab, right? Hit array. Now see, now number you have to select the number of counts, how many copies that you want. So I need you know 5 windows, and I don't want them to offset them on any axis. So I choose the value of 0. Now how do we rotate it? So can you create an empty object? Again, go to Shift A and go to empty. Select any of the empty object, right? Now under this array, we have this object offset. Now you have to select that empty, right? Oops. I guess that is so okay. So one mistake that we did here is we haven't applied the scale. To do that, we have to you know remove as we have to remove that array constraint, right? Now select this box, hit Control A, select scale, right? Now again, if you go to the object offset, again select that empty. Now it's all fixed, right? Now what you need to simply do is you have to rotate that empty object, and when you rotate, it will make those copies, right? So you simply what you need to do. You need if you divide 360 divided by how many copies? They are like 5 copies. Now they are like evenly distributed, right? Now there are 5 copies. Okay, so this is one. All right. Now I think you can hit apply, right? Now you don't need this array modifier. Okay. So to make that hole in it, so what you need to do, you need to make that boolean, right? So now we have to make that hole from these window shapes, right? So now we have to enable one add-on which is called Bool Tools. Now go to your preferences, edit in preferences to add-ons. Now type Bool. I've already enabled those. So you have to tick this one, right? Now now select those windows and select that main building. Hit Control numpad minus key, right? So now you can see that holes are already there, right? Now, okay, so now to you have to make that all those copies within that building, right? So simply go to the front view, select all the buildings. I mean, again, you can select all, can still able to select those buildings, right? Now Shift D for duplicate, and you have to move it down. So I've simply selected that shape. I haven't released or any clicked anywhere. Now you can press Z to make that building move down, something like this. Now you can release that, or maybe you can click that left mouse button key. Now you have to repeat that command. So you have to repeat. How do you repeat that? So simply press Shift R, right, and that's it. So as you can see that this building is slightly. You can increase the height of the building. So first of all, again go to that wireframe mode. Go to G for grab, and then moving to Z, right? Now select the buildings, slightly move those up, and that's it. That should be it, right? Yeah. So here your that building, right? Okay. Now, so this is my building. Now let's create a second building, which is this one. Here you can again go to cube, slightly move it up, move it there. Y-axis. Now go to edit mode, scale, x-axis, right? Slightly left this side. So this is huge. I mean, I'm considering the overall proportion of the buildings. I mean, I'm considering that these buildings are slightly to the huge buildings. So go to the front view, make that building slightly up, right? Or this way up. Yeah. Now simply we have to divide this building into parts. We have to make a loop cut. We can hit Control R and slightly move that back with one cut only, right? Now we have to make stairs. Just select this, you know, this edge. Again, we have to make that, bevel. Now the shortcut is Control B. Now just drag that up, right? Now you can again increase the segment here of this building. Now laser it, and you see all these properties. Now under custom, simply add a preset called steps, right? And that's it. And we can align the origin to geometry, right? And if you see that again in that building we have one hole which is again small door. So we need to create that. So again the method will be same. Create a cube, scale it down, go to the left view, move that up slightly here. You can see that building. We can again move that to that's the floor. Right. Yeah. Move that up. Right. Again go to the wireframe view. Select the couple of edges at the top. Slightly move that up. Right. Again select these edges. Control B. Oops. Again. Okay. You see that stairs are here, right? What you can do is you can go to the default and yep. And yeah, so this setting, right? I've had this setting here. And right here, the red appears to. Again, select this. First, let's check. Okay, this is again to both sides. Okay, again, select this window or this door cut, right? That we just created. Select the building. Hit Control minus, which is there in uh, you know the keyboard. Now select base. Slightly move it down so that we can't see the edges, right? The extra edges, right? All right. So this is my second building, right? Very slightly, you can also rotate it. Go to the top view, go to Z, move it slightly over here, right? Like this. This point we can set up a camera. Go to camera. So shortcut we can apply over here is good. I mean you can in the viewport just adjust a view, right? For example, this view you can find it. Okay, this should be roughly view that you want to project. So you can hit Control Alt and numpad 0, right? Here the camera will automatically adjust that view, right? Now I'll open my another viewer and I hit numpad 0 to move into the camera view. So I'll set up my screen. So let's say if you are creating a visual for Instagram, then Instagram Reel, I would say. Then just set to 1080 by 1920. Yeah, here's a view. Probably what I can do is I can apply these, the modifiers so that it is much more lighter. Yeah. Now I don't need those, the empty accesses and all. So now if you move those, it will move very fast, right? But yeah, don't do it in case you want to edit those buildings again, right? Because now I don't have any control over those buildings. Those I would say, those windows. So again, over here, I can extend that portion because it's still using that gap. So G, Y, straight. Yeah. So this is one. Now, since we have finished our modeling, and let's start with texturing it and lightening up the scene. Let me just increase this, empty space over here by selecting this edge and G and X like this. Cool. So let's start with lighting up the scene. Let's go to the world settings. Here we can again go to under color. We can have this sky texture to control that lighting. Go to go to the color management and reduce the exposure amount. Let's say something like this, right? So I'm pretty much happy with the direction, the light direction over here. So let's add the background image first. So here you need to enable one more add-on, which is import images as planes, right? Now go to File, Import, import image as plane. So I have this cloud image. I want to scale that up and move that back, that up. Yeah, right. So here I want to open my, let's close this view. So I have to. So these are. So this is the for the new ones. So this is the shader editor, right? So you can also go to shader editor, right? So so this is the material. I mean the node setup which is already comes up when you import images as planes, right? Now make that node go to the emission color and leave it as is, right, for now. Okay. Now let's add some material to these buildings. But first, let's select this first building over here. I'll create a new material. Red building. Okay. Now add a noise texture. So what I'm doing is to bring those up is using the same method, Shift A, right? Going to color ramp. You have to connect the color ramp to the vector and color to the base color, right? And you can also, okay, so here at this point, again, you can also enable one more helpful add-on, which is node, node wrangler. So by adding this, you can hit Control T and add the mapping nodes, right? And the texture coordinate nodes. And there are a few other features which we'll talk about in other videos as well. It's really helpful, right? Uh, Again, you can so after that, change this color to somewhere oranges, like this. This one, something the brighter shade, but towards orange as well. So here again, go to darker shades of color. Yeah. So here I don't want to be, I want it to be a fully rough material, right? So this will be material, and I want to increase the scale to around like 10. Yeah. So this we can again, uh, you know, edit later on. So for now, let's get 15 or so. So I'm making that difference slightly less brighter. So I want that building to be a little patchy, but not that. You can see the difference. So the overall approach should be like minimal, right? You have to get that minimal scene, right? Okay. To create those extra bumps, you can again go to create one more shader, which is Illinois texture, and again one more color ramp. Connect these two. So here I want to scale this up to like 200, and maybe I can increase the torch. So this will, create a bump material. Now this will link to the height, and this bump goes to normal. Slightly reduce the strength like this. Now I just want to see this. It's only one node there, right? And again over here you can reduce this white value gray, slight gray. Yeah. And you can also adjust some colors up here, slightly dark and just bright and slightly dark. Yeah, something like this. Yeah. So for the background building, we can apply the same material red building, and we can hit duplicate. And here we can change the color, or maybe we can introduce a new node which is hue and saturation. And here you can, just like other design application, you can adjust the hue value. Okay. So over here you can again go to the yellowish kind of a tone, say something like this, the yellow. Yeah, like this, right? And for the other building, I can probably reuse that same building, and I can rename this to orange building. Yeah, right. And for the inside portions, for example, like this. So here, for this one, I want to apply the same material. So as I already have that those building shapes, and I haven't expanded that modifier, applied that modifier completely. So I can again select those shapes and apply the same red building material. It's already applied there. And for this little part, I want to have that orange texture. So I can select this window and select that orange one. So let's say if you want to make that more prominent, we can again we can duplicate that. And this time, what we can do, so let's remove this hue saturation node and change the color by this value. Okay. So I'm simply changing the couple of colors over here. So here you can see my new color applied over here, right? Okay, right. And for the bottom part, I mean this plane. So this is base, or maybe you can rename as floor, whatever you want. Go to base and you can slightly make that orangish. Yep, slightly orangish. Yeah, like this. Great. And as you can see that okay, this sunlight is giving that light from left. But let's say if you feel that your right hand side or this right area is getting darker, then you can again go to include one more light or area light, scale that up, rotate that 90-degree towards x-axis, move that towards left, here, and point that towards building, right? And now you can move that up, increase the strength to maybe 120 or slightly higher. That's up to you, right? And you can probably reduce the angle over here so that it slightly gives that light feeling to it, right? Because it's now the scene is exterior, and it's the scene is pretty much towards the stylistic side. I mean, it's again not a natural lighting, but yeah, we're creating some sort of or minimal illustration. You can cheat a little bit. Yeah. Okay. So so we have completed this scene. Now let's see the render settings. For the render, what I'm using, you can again go to this render properties, and for the render, I'm using that 150 max samples, and for the max bounces, I can probably change these values since I don't want any transmission. I can leave them as is, right? So these are my render settings. And now if you hit F12, starts that rendering. I'm gonna pause this up and we'll see you on the other side, right? So yeah, so here's the final result. And yep. So again, you can go to if you want to make any further adjustments, you can go to you know, these and notes and change as per your own requirement. So here you can see the different examples that I did. So yeah, so looking forward to your awesome work, and do tag me if you create one on Instagram. I'm also linking my Instagram ID. See you in another video. Thank you. Bye.